Alright, so check it right. Ever since the whole chat about whether SA hip hop is dead or alive, I've been thinking about what the game is missing in order for us to dead this chat completely. Now, don't get me wrong, the game is thriving right now, more than it's ever been. But if we're being honest, like, there are some aspects of the game that could do with a little tuning, which could help better the situation for SA hip hop. So when I think about the game and what it's missing, two factors come to mind, mainly camaraderie and competition. Now I know having these two factors at the forefront seems counterproductive, but it all makes sense. Just hear what I gotta say. Now, am I imagining things? But to me the game seems too divided. That sense of working together and collaborating is not the same as it used to be. Back in the day, we had tracks like Amantombazane, the remix by Ricky Rick, which had a lot of hot rappers at the time, all on one track. Guys, just go watch the video and you'll see how many rappers were on that track, man. And even a couple years back, we had Mayo by DJ Speedster, who brought together some of the new up-and-coming rappers at the time together all on one track as well, with Shane Eagle, Tellerman, Frank Casino, and Young Swiss. Guys, listen to those names. Just think about back then, how they were up and coming, and now fast forward to now, like what the game is looking like with them. Like, they big artists right now, and you know, they were all on one track at the same time. Like, just thinking about it, you can't imagine that happening right now. So it's crazy. That was a really dope era for SA hip hop, because the togetherness, the camaraderie, like, it produced a lot of good music for the culture. But lately the game isn't the same as it used to be. I feel as if there's too much complacency in the game, which is getting in the way of so much good music being created, because everyone just wants to stick to what they used to and work with the same 4 or 5 people. It's to the point where certain rappers sound boring, sound repetitive, and I guess just sound the same. Like, it's predictable at this point, and I feel as if I can already tell what some niggas are gonna bring to the track. Niggas need to get out of their comfort zone and share their sound with people they've never worked before. But I like what certain individuals in the game are doing right now. For instance, we have Mash Beats, who just recently did a tape with Tato Soul called If You Know, You Know. And guys, if you haven't heard it, please go listen to that tape. It's super underrated. But we all know Mash from working with the TWC Boys and Rubber Band Gang. Obviously, he worked mainly with Reese, with projects like Reese Effect and Fire in the Water. I mean, you could tell he was clearly set in his ways and comfortable working with him. But ever since he left Rubber Band Gang, and obviously right now, the reasons are unknown, but since his departure, he's managed to work with different artists, obviously being right now being Tato Soul. But he's managed to work with a lot of artists, showcasing how dope of a producer he really is, and giving us dope ass music we would have never gotten if he's stuck in his comfort zone. I mean, I still want to see him work with more artists in the game, you know, follow in the footsteps of Zoocci Coke Dope, and allow your sound to touch a whole lot of artists in the game, allowing for the culture to reach even greater heights. So another individual who's currently running the game is Blackie. Guys, Blackie's literally running the game, guys, if you're being honest. And he's showcasing that SA hip hop is alive now more than ever and thriving, mainly through the moves he's been making. I mean, this nigga is the definition of camaraderie, because it doesn't matter who the artist is, who the rapper is, he'll work with anyone, because at the end of the day, the music is what matters. And he doesn't allow his ego to get in the way of that. I mean, this man has features with almost every rapper in the game. Obviously, there's a handful of them that he hasn't worked with, but you get my point though. Despite his sound being recognizable, he's still versatile, and he's managed to kill every feature he's done. No matter who the artist is, with tracks coming out sounding dope due to it being a different element every single time that he manages to portray with the artist he's being featured with. A lot of artists should take notes from this nigga, because it would truly liven up the game and bring more mainstream attention to it. Now, I'm not saying go collaborate with every single rapper in the game and dilute your sound, but at least come together with other artists where you complement each other on the track, giving your skills and talent level a bigger platform to perform. Guys, working together and creating that sense of camaraderie, especially when niggas have never done so previously. Like, it opens the door for new sounds and great music to be produced. So the other factor we need to discuss is the competitiveness within the game, or at least the lack thereof. I mean, rap, or I guess hip-hop, is a competitive sport, and lately the game has been missing that. Now, I'm not saying I want beef amongst artists, but I would like for them to challenge each other as well as themselves in order to take their careers to greater heights within the game. But it's like niggas are afraid to step up, step out of their shell and do what's necessary. I swear to God, niggas are quick to rap about how they're the best, but have never proven it. But anyways, I digress. Let's reflect about the Cass and AKA situation and what we got out of that. At the height of that beef, AKA gave us Composure, and in my opinion, that's arguably one of his best tracks, despite it being a diss track. Obviously, like, that was a diss to Cass, and Cass replied with Dust to Dust, which was weak if I'm being honest. But my point is, the competitiveness amongst these two niggas had the game feeling really interesting and exciting at the time. Even the competitiveness between Reese and Nasty has the game in a frenzy every single time, whether it be direct or just subliminal shots. They know how to make things interesting because it's always a case of who got the better of who had the better bars, who had the more provoking content, and that's what we need sometimes. Otherwise, things could feel boring at times, but hey, maybe that's just me. Anyways, the last incident that I can recall, just because it had everyone talking, was J Molly and the Big Cash. Now, they are, I mean, I guess they were up and coming rappers trying to be established within the game during the same time, where they were often compared to one another because of the way their sounds are quite similar, both being able to rap while still giving us melodies at the same time. So, I mean, it's not surprising that they were pitted up against each other. So, like, Hash, he first came out with I'm Sorry on his tape, Life Plus Times 2, that he did with 808X. I mean, my man was the first to draw his gloves, but J Molly didn't back down, coming out with, like, I'm Good, throwing a lot of shots at Hash. Some bars that caught my attention were, ironic how these young boys want to call my name out for clout. Meanwhile, be on the phone calling me, trying to hash this shit out. Guess these are life and times we're living in. Typical cycle of the internet. Cause in person they always backpedaling. Yeah, those were some tough bars, man. Anyways, like, this was a dope offering from J Molly, and they still continued their back and forth, with Hash coming back with a freestyle on Stogie T's Freestyle Friday series, which is pure competitive sparring at its finest, guys. Obviously, J Molly responded once again with the Paul Bearer, and the Big Cash closed the battle off with his track How to Kill a Dead Body with Flame. But, like, my point is, SA Hip Hop was on full display with the competitive nature amongst these two. Like, they were grabbing everyone's attention. If you saw the timeline, it was just J Molly and the Big Hash, like, at that time. But, you know, obviously, despite them both being melodic rappers, they were able to put on a rapping spectacle. I mean, everything was just dope between these two, because, like, as I said, like, everyone was just waiting to see who was gonna say what next, like, who was gonna come up with the dope bars. So it was really dope to see. But yeah, I hope you get my point though with everything. SA hip hop is the best genre in the country, and a lot of the new up-and-coming young niggas are putting the game on the map, with the likes of Blackie, 25K, Diamonds, Lucas Raps, Costa Titch, Tato Soul, and many more who are keeping the game alive and well. But with the elements of camaraderie and competition infused into that, man, guys, who knows what heights the genre could reach. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts about whether SA hip hop could do with additional elements to take it to even greater heights, or if it's just fine the way it is currently. I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like, comment down below. And most importantly, handle that subscribe button for me. It's on to the next one. Peace.